And welcome everybody to another episode of Danapalooza. My guests at this time, we have several guests because it's a special panel. It's a burlesque panel. So let's give a virtual round of applause for all these beautiful, talented ladies: Scarlett Sinclair, Miss Juicy Jones, Eden Ivy, and Coco La Fus Fus. Yay! So always got to start off with a good plug segment. So moving forward, I kind of want to know what are some of your favorite songs to perform in burlesque. We'll start with Eden.
Oh boy. I am very much like the rock and roll blues type of performer. It kind of go to um, everything, honestly. The heavier, the better, of course. I couldn't pick a favorite at the current moment, but I'm really in like a moody realm of my burlesque right now. So definitely lots of like darker lyrics. That's really what I pay attention to. So like general rock and blues are going to be my go-to.
All right, that's those are good choices. Let's go to Scarlett.
Well, my performance history's been kind of all over the place. I also lean toward more rock and metal in general in terms of my taste in music, but I've done everything from metal to jazz to even country, so it's really been all over the place.
Oh wow, that's it's quite a collection of different songs in your repertoire. So let's go to Coco.
Well, first I just got to give props to the other two ladies because I love rock and metal music, but for whatever reason, I cannot find my burlesque voice in it. I cannot find that like feeling within it. So I always admire people that can. I tend to stay more in like a jazzy old school. I've been doing like Sammy Davis Jr. has been really hitting me a lot lately. Um, so I love like old classic jazz with a little bit of like gender fun.
There you go. You got all that jazz. Um, um, and let's finally go to Miss Juicy Jones.
Yeah. Again, very eclectic, wide range of music that I've performed to, but my favorite is like my era of music, which is like 80s rock. So Poison, Def Leppard, all of that. And Iron Maiden's cool. Like I'm cool with all of the music. So I'm bringing it all in as much as I can. And I also like 70s rock also. Just because I don't see it done very often, and it's kind of music that I grew up on. So that's going to be getting really into my repertoire as well. But 80s rock that's my jam.
There you go. Rocking like a hurricane.
Yeah. Bingo. I'll have to think about that one.
Yeah. Kind of see how many puns I come up before the end of the So for me, just as a fan, definitely not a performer, there are certain songs that I enjoy, and I feel like that I kind of like the songs that really kind of like build more story within them. And I'm trying to think, like I saw someone do the Mad Hatter from like Melanie Martinez, and I thought that was really good. They had a big hat, and they performed it at a Valentine's Day show. So it's songs like that that I like. But let's move on to next question. If you could perform with another burlesque performer, who would you choose? Let's start with Juicy.
Oh, Samsonite, hands down. I would love to perform, be on the same stage with him. That would be great. Yes.
And we'll go to Scarlett.
Really, I'd be open to performing with pretty much anyone. I like meeting people through performing, and I'm nowhere near her level, but I would love to meet Dita Von Teese one day.
Awesome. Eden.
Um, I would say to share a stage, probably Poison Ivory. She's a phenomenal, or they're a phenomenal performer who, has been all over the place, a lot of different style and culture there. So they would be pretty much a dream duo partner.
That was a great partner choice. I was very tempted to say that girl is Poison. I was very tempted. And finally, Coco.
Well, I have to kind of feedback on Scarlett. The extrovert in me is I want to work with everyone all the time. I want to be challenged. I want to be surprised, and I just love working with different folks. But dream performer to collaborate with would be Casca.
Who's that? I didn't hear the name.
Oh, so it's Casca. I know her handle is known as Casca Sear. She does a lot of circus burlesque with a very elevated form. She's worked with Dita Von Teese, and she's able to pull off these glamorous strip reveals and then get into a giant sear wheel and just spin around madly, even with audience members very, very close to her. And I'm that takes some skill. I would love to be on that level, and I would love to share a stage with her.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, it sounds very magical, and I think that would be that Britney Spears circus song. So don't know that one.
Everybody's gonna have a Britney number.
Yeah. So what does it mean for all of you to be a burlesque performer? We'll start with Eden.
Oh man, that is such a high profile question, right? I would say that it means putting myself out there in some uncomfortable positions at times to be able to empower others. Being able to, use the platform to empower and encourage others to express themselves and really, I guess, for lack of a better term, be the example so that, others can shine and grow.
That was a really amazing answer. All right, Coco?
I mean, not gonna lie, it is a big question to be 30 seconds, go. I would say to be a burlesque performer, I love the idea that we are almost the gateway drug into live performance and cabaret style. Oh yeah, I want to go see this person take their clothes off, but how they do it always becomes different. And then that just leads to this exploration of, oh, what can we do in a live stage? What can I only see here that I can't get on my phone, that I can't get in a streaming platform? And just that different interaction where I've heard so many people go, yeah, I'm going to a burlesque show. We're going to go watch people get naked. But then when you can be transformed into these different stories and into these different realms of, we're all sharing this teeny tiny stage, or even, the bigger ones as well. But we only can reach so many people that will fit in a room, and to be able to give those people a surprise or give them a story that they might not know, that's what it means to perform for me, is just to give people a transformation, and then just to be a part of the culture where I get to see so many other people surprise me and go, oh my gosh, she did what? They did where?
Yep, that's a great answer. I love that answer. So, Miss Juicy Jones.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's such a celebration of like so many different body types and sizes and different types of people across the whole spectrum. And that's what was so kind of, I guess, I grew up in strip culture. I was an exotic dancer for 15 years, and that's so boxed. Or when I don't know what it's like now, but when I was coming up in that world, it was very boxed in to a specific body type. It wasn't very diverse and in any fashion. So, coming into burlesque was like, wow, what an amazing surprise to see everybody being held and witnessed, in their full form, whatever that may be. And so for me, that was kind of gave me this permission to step outside of like old school stripper culture and start burlesque I'm in my 50s. So, you know, being a burlesque performer in my 50s is just like, I have permission to do that and support to do that in the community. So I'm really grateful for the community as a whole for being so open and supportive, at least in my experience, of that. Which isn't part of, or wasn't part of the stripper culture growing. You had to narrow yourself down to be a specific thing, and in burlesque you can be whatever you want. That's what I like about it, and that's what drives me in performing for sure. Yeah.
It's a really great answer. Let's go to Scarlett.
Yeah, kind of going back to previous answers. For me, it's all about self-expression in limitless forms as well as inclusivity. And anyone who knows me personally will tell you that I'm super quiet until I warm up to you, but I have no problem getting up on stage and, stripping down.
There you go. So I'm grateful for all of you being here. So I first wanted to personally thank you for taking the time to be here. So is there been a favorite performance of yours for 2023? We'll start with Juicy.
So this is the year that I finally got to break out my pussy act, and it has been on hold. It was on hold through COVID, and I had an injury, so it got pushed back again. And then so finally this year I was able to do my big dancing vulva act, squirting vulva act, and and get the audience wet, and it was a blast. So that is I knew it would be my favorite act when I created it, and finally doing it twice now, I was like, yes, this is
my.
So that's my favorite. And that will actually lead into another question that I know that you have that I'll get into later. But yeah, it's
okay. It's hard to segue after something like that.
I'm sorry, I don't think you'll be able to see it virtually, Dan, but
that's okay. That's okay. I've seen pictures.
Yeah, you saw some pictures.
Yeah. I think I'm supposed to maybe go to LA maybe in a year or so. I'm supposed to go to Hawaii, so
great.
Maybe then.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll be a time when we have Burlesque and Chill has something going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. All right. I gotta get back. Pull the reins back. That was so. Let's go to Scarlett.
This has become one of my favorite acts to perform in general. A $60 inflatable Snoopy costume is one of the best investments I've ever made. It's been in 2 shows, Trick or Treat and Halloween Party. So this year was the second time I performed with that. It was a mix of the Peanuts theme song, then it goes into Bad to the Bone. And as it goes into that, I would strip out of the Snoopy costume and down to lingerie and whatnot. And it's definitely become a favorite of mine.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's amazing. S- Lots of peanut puns. So let's give a virtual round of applause for our newest guest right now, burlesque performer and pinup girl, Jinx DeVille.
Hi guys,
Hi, Jinx.
Hey!
how are you guys doing?
We're rolling. So, Jinx, we've asked some questions. Do you want me to ask you the ones we've asked and play catch up, or just?
Just ask me the last one and let's move on.
Okay. We've asked, what is your favorite performance of 2023?
Well, it would definitely have to be the one that I did in April for my show, and I did Ice Nine Kills, I did Ex Mortis, and I did Evil Dead. I had the chainsaw, I put it on my hand. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Did you have a boomstick?
I had
There you go. All right. I think I need to ask Eden, your favorite 2023.
Oh man, I kind of have a number of routines that are like in the works, but I was just finally able to debut a new chair dance a couple weeks ago, like probably like 2-3 weeks ago. It's to a cover of Power of My Love. It's a Jack White cover of the Elvis song. So it's a lot of fun. It's kind of going back to my initial burlesque roots, which would probably tie into some other questions like Juicy was saying as well. But it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to continually developing it and building it out a little bit more. So yeah, that's what I would answer it.
Yep. We also want to congratulate you because I saw the post the other day for Playboy.
Yeah, I actually was accepted into Playboy Centerfold a couple weeks ago, and I'm very, very excited to start shooting and really pushing out content. So thank you for noticing, Dan.
I try to notice as much as I can. I have my sidekick back here, also keeping me in tabs and in tow. So, Coco, we haven't asked you yet. Your favorite 2023.
I mean, it's been a delight to hear everyone's favorite performances. As always, it makes me go, damn, I really need to travel the world and see more of y'all performing. Oh, those acts all sound incredible. My favorite one that I've gotten to perform this year was a virtual event, and I was doing the song Bloody Mary by Lady Gaga, and it was like going from like these big, shapeless, frumpy ghost-like costume, and then moving throughout the stage to get into my aerial hoop, and then getting down to the draws, trying to take clothes off in the air and spinning around while pulling stunts. And it was just a fun performance to create. It was a really fun show with Penny Sinclair. And then the real challenge of it though was not keeping the clothes on, but keeping the skin on. Because there were certain moves where I was like, oh, make it look good, make it look good. This is so uncomfortable. Just make it sexy, make it sexy. It doesn't look not sexy. But I mean, like the way it turned out was lovely. But there's always those moments when you're performing where you're like, oh, I hope this looks good because it doesn't feel good.
Yeah. Wow. It sounds amazing. I don't know. I'm kind of a little bit I feel a little bit tempted to tell you because I've had to do like a little bit of burlesque, like a tiny bit, and there's like a little tiny story behind that. If you're interested, and I had to do to a certain song, so it was for the play. We were doing a play, and it was to the song "Black Betty" by Ram Jam, and so the scene started where I had to like strip to like start the whole thing, and then like all this like characters and montage and everything like that, and like everyone had to go out this door or go out this window or go out that door or go under this bed or go under this chair. So it's like, I mean, you do like the whole thing. I did like a tiny bit, so it's like a tiny like fraction of it, but yeah, it was definitely fun. I was definitely nervous with that, but it was a lot of fun though, a lot of blast. I even had some lady like complain at me doing it, so I went like extra slow on purpose.
Good for you, Dan. You popped your cherry.
I did. I threw my pants too. Someone had to bring my pants back.
Someone get their hands.
Because like afterwards I go, oh yeah, I threw those. So
This is why we
but
love our sweet kittens.
yeah, so I just thought I would share that. So but to me, all of you really are the superstar performers, and all my favorite performances is watching all you perform, because I can tell how much it means to you. So
Thank you, Dan. That's awesome. Thank you.
you're welcome. So I haven't seen Jinx perform yet. I need to see Jinx perform.
Come on out.
I need to. I definitely Halloween show for sure. But let me get back to questions. So, what and do you remember what your first burlesque performance was? Your very first?
Yep. I don't think you ever forget your first.
No.
Yeah. Do you remember, Juicy, what it was?
Yeah, my first show was in September of 2019, and I had taken an intensive with Miss Tosh, and I did my first show with her. We did a Beauty of Burlesque show at the 3 clubs in Hollywood, and I headlined it. It was great.
Oh, wow.
But it was great because I was comfortable taking my clothes off. Obviously, that was not an issue at all. But what was the challenge in stepping outside of my comfort zone was the creation of an act, or the creation of a character, and the creation of a story. And that was the cool, like, stepping outside of my comfort zone moment. And so that was really, it was fantastic. It was great. I'll never forget it. It was, and some of the performers in that show are in Burlesque and Chill, the troupe that I'm in now. So Miss Lady Legs is our producer. We came, I, and Jade Risque all started together. So, and now we're all in a troupe together. So yeah, it was fantastic all around.
The burlesque beginnings. That's what I feel like saying.
Yes, burlesque beginnings. Yes.
That was the summer of 2016.
What was that?
Juicy, did you say that was the summer of 2016?
2019.
Oh, 2019. I was like,
Yeah,
I think
September of
I saw that
2019.
show, but I must have missed that one.
Yeah, 2019. And then COVID happened, and then we went virtual.
Exactly.
Oh, we know the rest.
Dan found us, so.
I brought you all together. So, do you remember Jinx' first burlesque performance?
I do. My very first one was at a club, and the producer was a lady named Bijou, and she met me and she brought me in, and I believe it was I Put a Spell on You, and I did it very, very old school, the parasol, the whole thing. So yeah, it was fun, and I went to a show that she was in. I saw her. She came up, talked to me, and I was in the next show.
Wow. Instantly.
Yeah, I was.
Yep. What about you, Eden?
Yeah. So, oh man, like 2014, late 2014, I was in a pinup contest. Part of that pinup contest was that there was a talent portion, and whenever you kind of like scope out the competition, I noticed that everybody was a local performer, and I said, "Hey, I gotta strap down and figure out how to get involved in this." And always have been interested in burlesque, and my first performance was a sing-in strip to When You're Good to Mama from Chicago. And I distinctly remember, because this is the first time that I was really like fully stripping, getting, a little uncomfy with everything, and didn't know proper etiquette, and kind of stripped down, did everything appropriately within the legal guidelines, and then covered myself up really quickly and ran to the back of the the theater. So I've mastered the art of exits now, but initially I was very timid, very shy, and now we're here in almost 10 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, give them the old razzle dazzle. All right, let's go to Coco.
So my first burlesque act was, I think it was the summer of 2015. I was performing in a show called Cabaret Consensual, which was just a very sex-positive show. All cabaret acts were allowed. And burlesque was something I'd always been like interested in, but had never really seen a proper burlesque show, never really dipped my toes into those waters. And they were like looking for new acts, and I was like, I'll do it. Pick me. And so I like had this red sequins dress. I had a little cinchy belt. And beyond that, I was like, oh yes, I don't really know about gloves. Oh, I don't really know about stocking heels. So I just kind of like gave it my best shot. I think the thing I was most proud of is my hair was so long. I could do a little bun without a hair tie, and then just with the hair all the way down part of the show. And it was, I don't remember what song it was, but I know it was Amy Winehouse, because it was the song where I was like, I know this vibe, I know this feel, I know that this is the thing that's going to make me feel the most confident. And I think the funniest thing was I remember I forgot my pasties, so my now husband was like running over to Office Max, and we got electrical tape, and I just tried to make it into a shape that looked like something to cover the nips. So I was like, I know it's electrical tape, but we can recover.
See, Office Max should pay you forward for using their product.
I mean, I think a lot of people in this room might be doing better than Office Max is these days.
What about you, Scarlett?
Yeah, mine was also in 2019. Jinx was actually my very first burlesque teacher. So she had all of us newbies in a show. And my very first act was a cover of I Only Want to Be With You by Volbeat. And we developed the idea of me being a perky and pink cheerleader who'd strip down to black under things. And I think my pasties were skull hands giving the finger, so I went down to those. And I actually just brought that act back for the last show I did Fanny's show. So I did that virtually.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. So, is there anything else you lovely ladies would say as we wrap it up here on Danapalooza today?
Not wanting to step on anyone's toes.
I know, I don't want to stop.
I will say, if you follow me on social media, I do have a virtual show coming up celebrating the industrious and wonderful Fanny Sinclair. Her birthday's coming up, so check the social media. You'll get all the information there. And hope to see you do a nice, fun virtual celebration of one of the titans in the burlesque community.
All right. Anything left to say, Juicy?
So, one of the things that I was leading into when I was talking about my pussy act is that one of the performers, a performer that really inspired me in burlesque. And when I went to the Hollywood Burlesque Festival this year, there was a performer, Faggoty Randy, and he did a butthole act. And I don't know if any of you have seen it, but live on stage did an act, and the song was about a butthole, I'm assuming, because it kept saying it over and over again. And he had these huge fans, and as he opened and closed them, it looked like a butthole. And then he would bend over on stage and spread his butt cheeks, and you'd see the beautiful butt plug, shiny butt plug in his butt. And I was like, this is the most amazing thing I have ever seen in my life. And any reservations I had about any act that I would ever do, if it would ever be too much, like a squirt pussy, flew right out the window. He inspired me to do whatever the fuck I want. And so I'm eternally grateful to Faggoty Randy for showing me his butthole on stage in a burlesque act. That's my inspiration amongst many inspirations in burlesque, but he's a big one lately.
All right. Anything else you want
to with that act as well? So bravo.
Anything else you want to say, Eden?
Yeah. So if anybody who's watching is local to Pittsburgh, Naked and Crazy Burlesque is coming back to Lawrenceville Distilling on November 25th for our 6th holiday aftermath. I think the last time I was on with you, Dan, we were kind of promoting that a little bit. I think Coco was in there too. Yeah. And then, as always, I'm available on social media, happy to collaborate wherever. And you guys can follow along with my new Playboy journey and some of the other content that's out there. So very excited to be pumping out as much as I can this year.
All right. We look forward to that amazing adventure. Jinx?
I wanted to tell Eden that one of the very first shows I ever remember, I believe it was at the Oakmont Theater, and I remember you had on this red harness thing that looked like kind of an upside down tentacle. I've never forgotten that performance.
Thank you, Jinx. That's really nice of you.
I remember that, I don't know why, it just was amazing, and I've never forgotten that act.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. And then Scarlett.
Well, I don't have anything coming up as far as burlesque shows so far, but I'm hoping that'll change. So I'm also pretty active on my socials, Facebook and Instagram, so just follow me there to see what I'm up to.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up and end the stream. I want to thank my amazing guests. That would be Jinx, Eden, Coco, Miss Juicy Jones, and Scarlett Sinclair. All right. You amazing ladies, have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. You too.